So last night on Monday Night Raw, Triple H unveiled a new World Heavyweight Championship. The reason for this is basically for the fact that, when the draft happens, Roman Reigns will take the undisputed Universal Championship with him to the brand he goes to, while the other brand will determine a new world champion. Now, Triple H did credit Roman Reigns for being smart during his reign as champion in negotiating into his contract that he doesn't have to defend that title as much as a champion normally should. In fact, he even admits that it's something that he would have done and any other intelligent superstar would have done as well, which basically is their way of saying, hey, what Roman did was a smart thing to do because not only do you defend the title less, make the title feel more important for whatever brand you're on, but also the fact that you risk injury less. You risk being put on the sidelines, if you will. Which, again, Triple H, he didn't technically, say all that, but he did admit, like I said, that in the long term, that what Roman is doing is a very smart deal. It's a very smart thing to do. Now, he did say, though, to counter that, he did say, though, that as much as that might work for Roman, it doesn't work for WWE because WWE needs a world champion. They need somebody here that's going to defend the championship night in, night out, at any time, any place, anywhere around the world. They need a fighting champion. They need a champion that doesn't demand acknowledgement, but earns it from the fans. They need a champion that doesn't demand respect, but earns it from the fans, from the peers, and all that. The same with the acknowledgement. It doesn't demand it, but earns it. So, so basically his answer to all that was the unveiling of the new World Heavyweight Championship, which is basically, as some people put it, a fusion, a merger, a hybrid of both the current WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship Big Gold, the one that he used to hold, the one that Cena held, Batista held, Flair held, Dusty Rhodes held, Sting held, you name it. And honestly, it does look really good. In fact, I even commented on the fact that it kind of looks like a little like the AEW title in design almost. Not exactly, but almost. From just the pattern and all that, it looks very identical, almost identical to what the AEW design overall is. I mean, there is distinct differences. You could definitely tell distinct differences between the two, but you could almost tell that there's a similarity. And, obviously it shows that both are made by the same people, by the same company, if that is the case. But a lot of people are kind of mixed by this, though, by this decision, and kind of confused as well. Because a lot of people are now saying that by unveiling this, we have 3 world championships. Well, let me kind of squash that right now. No, we do not have 3 world championships. We do not. Let me squash that right now. Because you see, I've watched wrestling long enough. I've paid attention long enough to know where this is leading. And where this is leading is basically Roman Reigns hitting 1,000 days, which Triple H did acknowledge last night on Raw, which even he admitted is unprecedented in the modern era. This is where I see this leading. Night of Champions, Roman Reigns is going to beat whoever he's got to defend against, and as a result of that, not only will he reach 1,000 days, but WWE might just end it there. They might just say nobody else is going to reach this milestone when it comes to the Universal Championship, so we're going to retire that, and we're going to let Roman have the WWE Championship. And thus you can maybe try to do a similar run with Roman if they felt like it with that, which I don't think they would do. But like I said, I feel, well, this is in that direction. Because let's not forget, back in 2002, when Brock Lesnar became undisputed champion, the rule was the undisputed champion had to go back and forth, right? Brock Lesnar wanted to be on SmackDown more so than Raw, both behind the scenes and storyline wise. And because of that, he took the undisputed title with him, leaving Raw without a champion. That was rectified about a week later when Eric Bischoff unveiled and basically resurrected Big Gold, itself, and basically gave it to Triple H since, legitimately in story, Triple H was supposed to be the next one challenging Brock Lesnar for the undisputed title, but since, Brock and Stephanie pulled off what they did, it basically left, Triple H with nothing to challenge for, so by default, Triple H was rewarded the World Heavyweight title because of that. And, after that all happened, the Undisputed was dropped from the WWE title name and just, basically reframed back to being known as the WWE Championship. And to me, I see something identical and similar happening here. And what I mean by that is I could see after Roman reaches 1,000 days, I could see basically WWE dropping not only the Undisputed from the name, but retiring the Universal Championship because nobody is going to be able to surpass that. Nobody's going to be able to touch that. So why even bother having it around for Roman to drop to somebody else like a Cody if Cody eventually is not going to reach that? So to me, I think what's going to happen is after he reaches 1,000 days, they might do something to where he retires the belt saying, hey, nobody can beat me for this. Why do I even have it anymore? Nobody's going to be able to beat me for this. And now I'm going to focus on this. And from a storyline perspective, that would give Cody, if he gets drafted over to SmackDown, that would give Cody, again, a story, a reason to finish the story. Because now he doesn't have to worry about trying to win 2 belts. No. All he has to worry about is winning the belt that his dad never got. So I can definitely see that this whole, they got 3 world championships now. No. Again, I'm going to squash that because I can see that not being the case in the next month or so. I can see that. Now, if they decide to carry it on up to SummerSlam and wait till Cody beats Roman, if they plan to do that still, then fine. Go ahead. More power to you. Let Cody be the one to retire the championship. But I think it's going to happen a lot sooner than that. I really do. And also, even if they don't retire the Universal Championship, even if they don't do that, and he still carries around the 2 belts, guess what? It's still going to be 2 world champions. There's not going to be any of this, it's not going to be any of this whole 3 world championship crap. No, it's only going to be 2. The only difference is Roman's going to carry 2 championships, with him because it signifies he's the only one to unify both the Universal and WWE championships. That's it. That is it. It doesn't mean he's a double champion. It just means he's just holding those 2 titles, with him because it signifies his dominance that he's been, signifies the dominant, run he's been on, the historic dominant run he's been on that nobody's been able to topple him from. That's the only reason why those belts will be kept around. It doesn't mean that they will be defended, basically it doesn't mean that they will be defended, individually or anything like that. It doesn't mean they're going to be put in the same veins as the tag titles are at times, where the Raw tag titles are defended on Raw and the SmackDown titles are defended on SmackDown. No. It basically means, from a visual standpoint, that he is the one to do this. He's the only one to unify these, and he's keeping them as a reminder. But, again, I could see them having him after Night of Champions, maybe retire the Universal title, come up with a reasoning as to why he's doing it, basically saying that in 1,000 days no one's been able to beat him for it, and that because nobody's been able to beat him for it, he doesn't need the championship anymore because no one's going to surpass him at 1,000 days, even if somebody was to beat him. And now he can focus on being just the WWE champion. So I see it playing out in one of those two ways. In one of those, not two ways, but one of those 2 to 3 ways. Either he retires the belt himself after surpassing 1,000 days, or they have him hold the belts till he loses them to potentially Cody at SummerSlam, and then Cody retires the Universal title. Or 3, they just make it into one title, but he still holds both belts as a reminder of being the only one, being the one to be the one that did this, be the only one to unify both belts. So I see it going one of those 3 ways. But again, I want to squash this right now. After Night of Champions, there's not going to be 3 world champions, no, or 3 world championships. It's only going to be 2. It's only going to be 2. I want to squash that right now because they are going to look at Roman's undisputed championship as one title, even if he holds both belts, just one. And sooner or later, they know they're going to have to retire potentially the Universal Championship, in support and favoritism of the championship that has the most lineage in the 50-year plus WWE title. So they know that's going to happen. Either Roman does it after Night of Champions, or either Cody does it after SummerSlam, or they just tell Roman, hey, you got to give up that Universal title now because no one's going to surpass you. We'll put that into the vault and put that into the Hall of Fame, whatever the case is, they know they eventually got to cross that path. But again, until they get to that moment, like I said, we could either see Roman doing it himself to avoid that, Cody doing it himself to avoid that, or WWE forcing his hand, or forcing one of their hands, and that's it. I mean, think about it this way. Think about it this way too. Think about hold on, let me do that. And think about it this way too. Again, excuse me there. Visually, even if, and they will, identify both as just 2 separate world championships, visually, Roman holding both belts signifies, again, like I said, that he's the only one to do that. Now, if they let Cody hold both belts, then that's something else. That would be something entirely to where Cody could hold him and say, hey, this is a reminder of, I beat the one. I beat Roman. I did what nobody else could do. And I'm keeping these as a reminder of that. But I believe over time, one's going to get retired. And it's either going to get retired after Roman surpasses 1,000 days, either after Cody beats him, or WWE forces one of their hands, if you will, to hand over the Universal title so they could put it, away, or put it into the Hall of Fame, with the acknowledgement that nobody has, been able to reach the 1,000-day mark that Roman's reached. And not even Cody will be able to do that. But who knows? He might. We don't know. But to me, like I said, I know I'm sounding like I'm rambling a little bit. I do apologize. But to me, at the end of the day, after Night of Champions is all said and done, we need to squash this whole notion of 3 world championships. It's only going to be 2. The only difference with Roman is he's just going to carry both belts as a reminder of he was the only one to unify them. to become undisputed champion. That's it. That is it. He's the only one to do that. He is the only one to do that. So that's the only reason he keep both belts until after Night of Champions is over. Because, again, that'll be the opportunity for him, in story and legitimately to retire the Universal title with the legit reasoning of, hey, nobody's been able to beat me for it, so why should I even hold this belt anymore? Nobody's going to touch it. I'm going to retire it, let it, be displayed in the Hall of Fame with the reminder of I was the one. I was the champ. That. So, so to me, I could see that happening. I could see him letting Cody do that. Or they just let Roman hold him for a while until they basically say, okay, Roman, you need to forfeit over one of those titles so we can put it into the Hall of Fame. So I could see either one, like I said, I could see either one of those three ways happening. But at the end of the day, we need to squash this notion of this 3 world championships. There's not 3 world championships. There's only 2. And that's going to be confirmed after Night of Champions. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. But I just wanted to give my thoughts on the unveiling of the World Championship. I think it looks great. It's a nice blend of modern design and a callback to the old designs. I'm cool with that. And also, again, like I said, I want to squash any idea that's out there that basically there's 3 world championships. There's not. There's only 2. And that's going to be more confirmed after Night of Champions. So, yeah, I just want to give my thoughts on it. Also, I do apologize if I rambled a little bit. Of course, I'm not working right now, so your support could be really, helpful. Click on the links down below to help me out in those areas. But also the fact that, this is around the time my mom would, call, to check up on things during a break. So, I'm a little cautious at times, But anyway, again, like I said, just wanted to give you my thoughts and everything on the World Championship. And like I said, I do apologize for the ramblish nature of this video. But yeah, give me your thoughts though. Let me know how you feel about the new World Heavyweight title. What do you think is going to happen to it in the long run? Do you think, after Night of Champions, that Roman will retire the Universal title? Do you think he'll hold it till SummerSlam, and then if he loses it to Cody, Cody will retire it? Or do you think both Roman and then maybe Cody will hold both belts as a reminder of, well, for Roman, he was the only one to unify them both. And then for Cody, it's a reminder of, hey, he was the only one so far to do what nobody else had been able to do for the past 3 years. What are your thoughts? And who do you think will be the first world champion? A lot of people are saying Seth Rollins. I don't have a problem with that. But we'll see what happens. But we'll see where they go from here, towards the draft and everything, and who logically, after the draft is done, could be the more realistic choice to be champion. But let me know what your thoughts are. Comment below, and I'll talk to y'all later.